they come out clean.
Welcome back to Birds in the Buckets. I'm Rashad Mulligan, joined here today by Malik Brown. Malik, how you doing today, sir?
Feeling good, bro. Hump day, man.
Hump day, another day, another dollar, man. And today we got a very special guest back in the building. He's been on the show before, much like Josh, where Josh came back to the show last episode. I wanted to say last week, but it's been a couple weeks since we've been live. Yeah, he's been on the show multiple times last season, but this is his season 2 debut. Everybody, welcome back, Reggie in the building.
What's up, guys?
Ray,
Man, I can't call it.
It's been a long time coming.
Yes, sir. How you feeling? Oh, go ahead, Malik. Go ahead, Malik.
I'm saying a lot has changed since we saw you. A lot.
I know it's a lot for sure.
Yeah, so we were just talking about it before we recorded. If DeJounte was on the team or not. The last time we recorded with Reggie, DeJounte was on the team, and his last episode was. Hold on, I scrolled too far. Reggie's last episode was the Atlanta Hawks are streaking again.
This video is brought to you
by
Prize Picks.
Prize.
Ooh.
Skip that. They are not paying us.
That's Malik.
They are not paying us.
I think they can continue to play well and get a good little win streak going.
What month is this of the year is this? Because the Hawks are good with that.
2021.
It was November though.
November 2021.
Yeah, so that was fresh off of the KD in the building. KD was handing twin.
What's good, KD?
KD in the building.
Old friend KD. I know who you are, KD.
Hey, yo. But yeah, the last time we talked was November 2021.
2021?
Yeah, so and we talking about the Hawks winning, so that was a Fugazi winning streak. November. That flamed out by the spring. But yeah, man, I guess Malik, I don't know if you had anything else for Reg before we really got into it.
No, I'm good. Let's get into it.
All right, yeah, Reg. So my first question to you, man. The last time we spoke, as we said in the intro, DeJounte was on the team. Fresh off of the Eastern Conference run and everything like that. I just wanted to ask you, man, like specifically speeding up, fast forwarding the past era of Hawks basketball and now to this offseason where everybody's as excited as they've probably been across the board since 2021. How you feel about Porzingis, the kid from Luke Kennard, Nickel Alexander-Walker, and Asa Newell. How do you feel about all of those acquisitions?
Well, I want to say this. I've been a Hawk fan for 25 years. And I can confidently say that this offseason has been the best offseason of my entire Atlanta Hawks fandom. Like, this offseason has been just A+ work. From Ansi Salah to the rest of the front office, Kyle Korver, like it's been awesome. Like the Porzingis trade was awesome. They traded George Niang, Terrence Mann, and the 22nd pick, and so you're able to get Porzingis for cheap. You didn't have to give up anything much of value, so you get him. You sign Nickeil Alexander-Walker from Minnesota. That was a good move, in my opinion. You get Luke Kennard, and the thing about it is all of those signings wasn't even the best thing that the Hawks did. Like, they traded down from 13 to 23 to the Pelicans, and they get that unprotected pick platter or whatever. I guess I'll call it the double pick platter of the Pelicans and the Bucks, which is unprotected. And so you get that pick. That pick might be a top 4 pick. Who knows? You might even win the lottery, with how the Pelicans roster looks now. So just great work by the Hawks. It's just, I have no complaints.
SSB, man. First things first, man. I want to say what's up to SSB in the building. Man. The thing I want to always I'm gonna say this the entire season. I'm gonna say this the entire season.
Yeah.
I don't think the Pelicans are just a shoe-in bad team. Like, they won 49 games 2 years ago. They have pretty much the same kind of frame structure of the team that they had 2 years ago right now. Plus, you could argue it's even better than the team 2 years ago. When DeJounte gets back the second half of the season, everything like that. Like, I think they're a play-in team. I think they're a play-in team in a tough Western Conference. I think they won about 40 games at least. That's not necessarily a shoe-in number one. You know what I'm saying? Number one pick that I think everybody's just think they're going to win 18 games and, the Hawks get the number one pick guaranteed.
I don't think they'll be that bad. I've studied the Pelicans roster since they made that move. I got some concerns about their team, to be honest. Like, I really do. Like, number one, a lot of it is just dependent on Zion being healthy. And so, like, is that really a guarantee? Like, I don't think so. And then I look at their team, like, I don't know about them defensively. Like, I look at their team, they have, like, one good defender, maybe two, and Herb Jones. And so, like, I have concerns about them defensively. I have concerns about them as far as, like, their size and the paint. I know they signed Looney, but I don't know if he's a needle mover for them. So I worry about them, like, rim protection wise. I worry about them shooting, whether or not they have enough shooting with. I know they have Troy Murphy, but, like, between him and maybe Jordan Poole, like do they have enough shooting? Where does Derek Queen and Fierce fit in? Like, are they going to play? And if they play, they're rookies. Like, you trade an unprotected pick, I'm assuming you're gonna have to play them. And if you play them, they're bad. They're likely gonna struggle a little because they're rookies. But, like, you gave them an unprotected pick, and so you're trying to win now. And, like, how much do you really play them if you play them at all? And then you got Willie Green, he's on a lame duck. Like, it's just a lot of questions with the Pelicans to me. And
Oh, go ahead, Reggie.
Like, I got a lot of questions about them. Just, like, I don't know. The Pelicans are confusing to me. They just are. They have talent for sure. I just question how much that talent is gonna mesh. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, they're in the Western Conference. And so you got Oklahoma City, you got Houston, you got Denver, you got Minnesota, you got the Clippers, Dallas, Lakers, Warriors, Spurs, Portland, Memphis. Like, it's gonna be tough. And I like most of those teams better, to be honest. So I don't know, man. A lot of it is going to depend on Zion being healthy, and that's if he's healthy. I think they're playing at best. And, like, if he's not healthy, if he misses his typical 30, 40 games every year, like he's done for most of his career, I kind of think they're screwed for next season. And then Willie Green, like, is he, like, he's going to be on a hot seat because you want to win now. And so I don't know. It's if I'm a Pelican fan, I feel good about them. Like, I like Derek Queen. Like, I'm a Derek Queen fan. Like spoiler alert, like, before the Hawks signed Kristaps, like, he was the guy I wanted. And so I like Derek Queen a lot. I just feel like in year one, I worry about his role on the team. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't know. Like, the Pelicans, I'm just, as a Hawk fan, I'm feeling pretty good. Being top 10.
What do y'all think is the Pelicans opening day starting lineup?
If I had to guess, I would probably say Messi is their center. I would say Messi, Zion, Troy Murphy, Herb Jones, and Jordan Poole. I think that's probably their starting five.
I like
which is decent. Like it's not an awful starting five.
Yeah.
You know, it's decent, but I don't know. Like I look at the way I would probably feel a little different if the Pelicans were in the Eastern Conference, but they play in the West, and it's tough in the Western Conference.
I think, like you said, there are a lot of questions surrounding them. I think between them and the Bucks, I give the Pelicans the best chance to be the worst team, unless Giannis leaves. If Giannis leaves, then like I think the Bucks automatically just like are going to be worse than the Pelicans. I don't even know what. Well, it depends on what they get in return for Giannis.
Yeah.
But I still don't think it'll be anything than what the Pelicans currently have right now. So yeah, I mean the Hawks got two good shots. They got two good shots at it. So they could get back in the lottery. I don't know how far they can get when it comes to top 3, top 4, but I like their chances in the lottery. If it's top 13, top 14, whatever like that, I like their chances there.
My 5 for the Pelicans, and I don't think I get in trouble for this. So it's opening day. I got Alvarado, unless Fierce just has like an outstanding training camp and things of that sort, and outstanding summer league. Yeah. I got Alvarado. At the 2, I got Poole. At the 3, I got Trey Murphy. At the 4, I got Zion. At the 5, I got Missy. Backing them up, I got Looney at the 5, Queen at the 4, Fears at the 1. Herb. Oh yeah, I'm tweaking. Herb Jones. Yeah, Herb Jones, I guess is.
You think Herb comes off the bench?
Yeah. He's not a 5. Like they tried to do that at the beginning of last season, and then he ended up like ripping his shoulder out his socket. You know, like
right.
Because he's a 4. You know.
Did he start last year?
They tried to start him at 5, and then he got hurt like 20 games.
Oh,
okay.
And then Missy took over, and then Missy became like a serviceable center. And then they the Carlo Mirotic guy, he had a little run where he played well off the bench for them, and then they traded for Olynyk in the Brandon Ingram trade. No, Olynyk was solid, solid. Wow.
And then he got traded.
He got traded twice. He got traded twice.
He went to Utah, and Utah traded him to San Antonio, I think. Right?
Yeah, no. He got traded to I want to say Washington. He got traded to the Wizards in the Jordan Poole deal. Okay. And then the Wizards just traded him to San Antonio. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So regardless, he got
that
traded twice and ended up on San Antonio. Go ahead, Reggie.
I like that move for the Spurs. I like the Spurs getting in Olynyk. I think he'll help them.
Yeah.
Yeah. If they can get Chris Paul again, I don't know, man. The Spurs might be good next year. If they get Chris Paul back, the Spurs might be good next year, bro.
He started to come on. I think Chris Paul come off the bench this time.
The Spurs got a lot of guards.
He said he want to start again. That's what he said.
Spurs got a lot of they got Fox. They drafted Harper, Castle. They still have
a guard, or is he a point guard or a shooting guard?
Who?
Harper.
I'll look at Harper as a wing.
He's like 6'5", 6'4".
They do have a lot of guards. I think Chris Paul go to the Clippers. That's what I keep saying. I keep saying Clippers.
Yeah.
That's Clippers or Bucks, and I'm like, I don't think he goes to Milwaukee because he wants to stay close to his family. So it's like, Clippers.
I agree. I think if I had to guess this, I would agree. I think he'll go to the Clippers if I had to like guess because of the reporting. It seems like he wants to be in the LA area.
Yeah.
I didn't want this to be his last year, bro. Like, it's like, because he played so well last season. Like, if he was like how he was in Golden State last year, I would have been like, oh, yeah, hang it up, buddy. But
Yeah.
now I'm like, bro, like, give us 3 more
40? Is
seasons.
he 40?
Yeah, he's 40 because he went to college.
Yeah, you're right.
So he's been in the league, not as long as LeBron has, but he went to college. So that's how it evens out. Where was I going? No, man. Like, I think the Pelicans are really good, bro. I mean, because like that's the opening night starting lineup. But now you say January, DeJounte comes back. It's a whole new look. You got DeJounte, Jordan Poole, Trey Murphy, Zion Williamson, and you got Looney either starting right then or Missy still playing right enough to keep his spot in the starting lineup. You got Derek Queen should be well along at that point of the season. You have Fear should kind of get a little bit under his feet. You know what I'm
They
saying?
have talent. Like they have talent.
That is a decent squad, bro. That's a playing team.
I just don't know if it's gonna fit.
Yeah.
Oh, like you need more than just talent. Like it has to fit.
No, 100%, 100%. But it's like it's not like New Orleans hasn't done it before. Like they did it with Willie Green two seasons ago, 49 wins. 2 seasons ago, Willie Green is the coach. I don't understand where this one bad season where literally everybody and their mama got hurt. I've never seen that on the NBA roster before. It happened with Dallas too in the same division. I don't know what's going on in the Southwest Division with these injuries last season. But literally, like when everybody 1 through 10 gets hurt, when Jose Alvarado is the only healthy player in the rotation originally on the roster, and then he gets hurt, he hurts his hand. It's like, bro, like what the heck? So I mean, unless that happens again, I think they should win 40 games. That is my projection. I'm standing on that. I think Milwaukee is the team that I'm looking at that has a better chance of being trash. Look at their starting lineup. Their projected starting lineup has Kyle Kuzma and Miles Turner. When has anyone ever in the history of basketball looked at Kyle Kuzma and Miles Turner in the starting lineup and said, "Oh yeah, this is a squad"? Come on, bro. What are you doing right now? Like that's the team that people need to be like, "Oh, the Hawks might be able to get something with that pick." No, not the other way around, bro.
I also heard that they trying to get Bradley Beal.
I will say this though. I think if you're just looking from just talent, I actually kind of agree that the Pelicans have more talent than the Bucks do currently, but the Bucks play in the East and the Pelicans play in the West. I mean, like sometimes it's just kind of that. But I mean, as far as the Bucks go, I've said this on my YouTube channel last week. Like, I think the Bucks are delaying the inevitable. Like, they should trade Giannis. Like, I didn't like them stretching and waving Dame and getting Miles Turner. Like, I like Miles Turner as a player, but I don't think he's moving a needle. And
if you look at this starting lineup, what's the difference between this team and the Charlotte Hornets? I want people to really like ask yourself. You look at this starting lineup. Yeah. What's the difference between this team? Are they older? They're older than the Charlotte Hornets. That's the only difference. Reggie, SSB asked you, where do you think Giannis should go?
I kind of have a feeling where this is going to start because I know a lot of Hawk fans want Giannis. And they actually can put together a decent package for Giannis. But, man, if I'm Giannis, I would want to go to either the Hawks or the Spurs. Like, those are like my 2 options if I'm Giannis. Just because, like, if he gets traded to the Hawks, and look, I don't know, like I'm kind of back and forth on whether the Hawks should actually put together a package for Giannis. Like I just like a bit part of me wants to see how this team looks before making any moves. But I mean, if you're Giannis, like, and if you want to win a championship and you want to stay if you want to win a championship, you can make a great argument that you want to stay in the Eastern Conference. And like, no one in the Eastern Conference can give them a better package than the Hawks, and so I think the Hawks if I'm being honest, I think the Hawks should be appealing for him in the Spurs, in the West, like playing with Wemby, with the Wemby, that's appealing. And so I would say the Hawks or the Spurs, if I'm being honest.
They got Castle at the 3. They got Stephon Castle at the 3. That's
Bro, who made this?
I don't know. Some person.
They made a 3-guard starting lineup.
They got Shohan and the power forward. Like people like, yeah, Shohan, yeah. We about to do this.
I'm gonna be. It would not surprise me. Well,
3-guard lineup. They forgot about Harrison Barnes.
Crazy.
Also, Reggie, I have a question. What is stopping you from going on the green light with Giannis, with the Giannis trade to the Hawks? Is it the players or is it the picks? Because you're probably going to have to give up that unprotected pick, but you're also probably going to have to give up. You're definitely going to have to give up Jalen, and you're probably going to either have to give up Zach or Onyeka. What's stopping you from saying yes? Just do it.
I'm open to giving up Zachary or the pick, but I don't want to give up both. Like I like Jalen, obviously, you got to give him up. The Bucks, I'm sure, would ask for that Pelicans pick and Zach. And if I'm the Hawks, I'm open to giving up one of those two, Zach and the pick, but I don't want to give up both. Like I want to keep one of them. And I think that's probably gonna be that's probably where like conversations kind of stop a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't know, like if it was me, like if I had to choose between giving up Zachary Ricochet or that pick, I would probably give up the pick and keep Zach, because if you get Giannis, you need shooting. Like Giannis, as good as he is, he's not really a plug and play fit. You know what I'm saying? Like even in Milwaukee, like his best years, he had Brook Lopez. He's a stretch big. Even now, like what they're trying to do, like they get Miles Turner because Miles Turner's a stretch big who can shoot. And so now you have Porzingis. And look, I love Porzingis, but he's a health risk. And so obviously you want to keep him. You want to keep Onyeka, but you also need shooting on the perimeter as well. And that's where Zachary Ricochet comes in. And so, like, I'll if I'm the Hawks and if I'm going after Giannis, like, I would want to try my best to hold on to a player like him, because he's just he would fit really well with Giannis just because of his shooting, and you need shooting, if Giannis is on your team.
Giannis is 30 SSB, and he said if OKC didn't just win the championship, he think that it would have been a nice fit to OKC. Me personally, I think like Milwaukee. I'm of the belief Milwaukee doesn't need to trade Giannis, because I'm just a big fan of, hey, you're loyal to this team, you're this and that. You stay on one team, they gonna give you a statue. You know what I'm saying? You led them to a championship, their first championship since Lou Alcindor. He wasn't even Kareem Abdul-Jabbar then. Oscar Robinson. You stay on that team forever, you get a statue. You never had to pay for a meal again. You are Giannis. So you leave, now it's a little sour feelings for a whole 10 years. They finally get over it when you're an old man. Let's just get it out the way now and just hold on to Giannis and just let Giannis ride it out. He, like I said, he's 30. So he got 10 more years left. You know what I'm saying? Just let him ride out these next 10 years and have him to be a legend in Milwaukee. That's what I do if I'm Milwaukee.
Yeah, I could understand it from Giannis's perspective, because he already did win a ring. So I could understand him saying, like, I want to be in Milwaukee for the rest of my career. Like, I will understand it. I just think for the Bucks, like, where are you heading? You know what I'm saying? Like, even though you got Miles Turner, like, they don't have picks. Like, I don't know how much more they can really do to upgrade their team, because they just don't have a lot of assets. And I think that's the challenge that I think the Bucks are going to face. Like, it's like I kind of think it might be best for the Bucks to move Giannis, just because I just don't know. I just don't know if keeping Giannis and you're winning 45 games and you're the 6 or 7 seed. I just don't know where that's getting you. And so I don't know. Like I just the Bucks are in a tough spot with Giannis. Like they just are. They're in a tough spot, because teams around, even in the East, like teams are getting better. And it's not, you got the Cavs, you got the Knicks, I think, have done a nice job. We all know what our Hawks did. The Magic are getting better. The Heat are getting better with the Norman Powell trade from the other day. The Pistons are still there. And there's, Charlotte, they could surprise people, if LaMelo can ever stay healthy, and so like teams are getting better. And I just don't know how the Bucks can continue to improve. And I don't think getting Miles Turner is enough. And so they're in a tough spot.
Reggie, I got a question. So, of course, we just saw Paolo and Chet get paid a lot of money. Looking at the Hawks, of course, you got Dyson coming up.
Oh, sorry, Malik. But before you continue with this question and we move on from the Bucks in the starting lineup, Kevin Porter Jr., you hit woman. All right, let's
But yeah, Dyson's coming up, and then of course Trey is extension eligible now.
Yeah.
First, how much are you giving Dyson, and are you giving Trey the max?
I'll start with Dyson. I know it's been a topic as far as like, how much do you want to pay Dyson? You want to give him $30 million? Here's where I am with Dyson Daniels. I'm actually higher on his offensive potential than a lot of people. Like, I think offensively, he exceeded my expectations, and I actually think there's more that he can grow into. Like, I think his driving game was impressive. And I don't know, maybe I know it was after the season or he had a press conference and he talked about how he wanted to be an all-star. And he thinks that he can win most improved next year. And I thought that stood out to me because like, I think like, I thought he showcased a lot more on offense than I expected, in particular as a driver. And like, I can see a world where like he averages 17, 18 a game, in a year or two. Now, as far as the contract goes, like if I like based off of what he showed last season, if I had to pencil in a number, it would probably be a little bit under 30. Like I would give him maybe like 28, 27, 28, 5 for 140. I think Andrew Kelly, I saw him post like he would give Dyson like a little bit less than the max. Like he would give him like 5 for 140 or 4 for 115. Something like that makes a lot of sense to me. And so if I were to offer Dyson, it would probably be somewhere in that amount, that in that 27 to $28 million range, just a little bit less than 30. And so I think that's where I would go if I were the Hawks with Dyson. Now, as far as Trey goes, it's tough because I'll say this. If this was 3 years ago, I do think Trey would have been worth the max. But with this new second apron thing, you got to be careful as far as how much you want to offer dudes. Because if you give a player a bad contract, I mean, you're in trouble. And like we're seeing it with the Suns with Bradley Beal, like they have to buy the man out, because he's so overpaid. We're seeing it with the Blazers. Now the Blazers thing is, I mean, not the Blazers, but the Bucks. Like that's a little unfortunate with Dame's injury, but still, like with him being injured, they had to get off that stretch and waive him. And so If I'm the Hawks when it comes to Trey, I think the number that I would try to get him at around like in the height, like 45 to 50, somewhere in that high 40s range is kind of where I'm at with Trey. And if I do pay him like 50 million, I would ideally want to do it for shorter years. Like, can I get him for like 3 for 150? Give him for 3 years. Have him take a shorter years. And as to, maybe we want to pay him around 50 million. And so, like, if I'm paying Trey, ideally I want to offer him maybe a little less than the max, but not like way less to the point where he's pissed off. You know what I'm saying?
What about you, Rashad?
I think Chet really messed up the whole market. I'm not even gonna lie to you, like, because Draymond said the thing right on his podcast. He was like, "Yeah, this is a new CBA. This is what CJ McCollum and the Players Association Union negotiated." And everybody was saying like CJ McCollum's feelings was hurt. Yeah, Kevin Durant went to the Warriors, so that's why they like negotiated the CBA and stuff, and no more super teams, everything like that. And now it's like basic teams that just drafted well and made good decisions and good trades and stuff like that to bolster up their team. Now they have to break up their teams after a couple of years, because of the way that it goes. So when everybody said that last week, I'm like, okay, I think folks is going to understand a little more. You can't always take the max. Then this man, Chet Holmgren, comes out. Like, first it was SGA. SGA got, like 300 million. People was like, oh, dang. SGA just won MVP, finals MVP. He won the world championship. He got the NBA 2K cover. Shout out to Angel Reese and Carmelo Anthony, also 2K26 cover people. And it was like, okay, we get that. SGA, max contract, it makes sense. Then Chet Holmgren came along. 250 mil, you just messed up the whole market. Yeah, if I'm Trae Young, I'm going, the first thing I'm saying, so you're going to offer me less than Chet Holmgren? We all seen the finals. It was on ABC, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. Chet Holmgren couldn't stop a traffic cone. He got 250 mil for what he did before he got into his injury and his surgery. He got it post-surgery. They seen Chet Holmgren before the surgery where he getting 19, 25 every night. You know what I'm saying? Still not getting that many rebounds for someone who's 7'7", but he got a great offensive game. Okay. Then he gets hurt. He comes back from the surgery and he can't stop a dang cone. He has a bad playoffs, a horrific finals for the first 6 games. In that game 7, he looks like a solid NBA center. Not a superstar. He don't look like Jokic. He looked like a solid NBA center. They give this man 250. So now if I'm Trae Young, I'm like, dang, I know I'm better than Chet Holmgren.
Oh, yeah, there?
He got to get 220.
Y'all broke up. I think y'all broke up. I didn't.
You didn't hear? I said if I'm Trae and I seen, what I'm saying, I seen bro get 250.
Right.
I'm asking for the 220.
I guess with Chet Holmgren is a little different with him because he's on his second deal. Trey's entering his third deal, and so I don't know. I hear where you're coming from.
This is second deal, ain't it? Ain't this his rookie deal?
You talking about Chet Holmgren?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like he's entering the second phase of his contract. Like he had the rookie deal. Now he's entering like the fun max. Whereas with Trey, he's entering the third phase of he already had the second big contract. Now he's looking for the third big contract. For me, if I'm Trey, the player that I'm looking for, the player I'm eyeing if I'm Trae Young is De'Aaron Fox in San Antonio. Because it's the same situation. Like San Antonio is going to have to pay Fox. And I think Fox is eligible for like the same 220 whatever that Trey is eligible for. And so when if I'm Trey, I'm wondering like how much is San Antonio going to give De'Aaron Fox that 220-ish, or they're going to get Fox to take something below that. And if Fox takes whatever, if he takes something below that, then I think that's when you could see Trey say, okay, if that's what Fox gets, that's what I'm getting. Or if Fox takes the max, takes the 220, then I think Trey's agents and their representation will probably be like, okay, I'm taking that. I'm taking that 220 if that Fox gets 220. And so I think for Trey, I think De'Aaron Fox is the player I'm looking at. Let's see what he gets from San Antonio.
Is there any way that Trey looks at Jalen Brunson and sees what he did last year and he's like, maybe I'll take a discount? Is there any way?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I think I could see a discount, but I don't think it'll be at 40 million. Like I could see it being maybe at because 40 million is like 57, which is what Trey is eligible for, to 40 million. That man.
Where's Jalen at on here?
Jalen Brunson?
Jalen's at 20. Oh, he took a discount. Or does it don't kick in until next year or something? No,
it says it starts 2025.
Yeah, like when I know that's been a popular thing that people have brought up. Like, could Trey take the 40 million?
I won't do it.
I'm to be honest. Look, if the Hawks get Trey to take that much, then hey, bravo to the Hawks, because y'all are.
I think for me, the reason why I would say no is because the Hawks front office is just proven to be too incompetent and inconsistent during Trey's time there. Yeah. So you can tell them, yo, Trey, take a discount. We're going to get you right. We're going to get you the help you need. Trey going to be like, bro, I heard this story before. Y'all playing with me, man.
But there's
I'm not going to get any bonuses from All NBA. I'm not going to get any bonuses from All Star. They done shut me out. You seen they freezing me out here. The most money I'm going to get is, the direct contract with my team, man. So it's like, y'all got to stop playing with me. Go ahead, Reggie.
But I think if I'm the Hawks, like I think this is why they went after Porzingis and Nickeil Alexander-Walker. So and Luke Kennard. And by the way, Trey, if I'm not mistaken, he recruited Nickeil Alexander-Walker and Luke Kennard. And so I think the Hawks are like, you know what? We got these guys for you, Trey. Now maybe you can take a little less and maybe you can fill the team out. I mean, you can take a little less. That way we can keep all of these guys together for 2 or 3 or 4 years or whatever. I think that's the pitch that the Hawks are going to sell Trey. And look, I know people don't want to hear this with Trey, but I'm going to be honest. I'm not sure Trey would get the 50 plus whatever from any other team. Because if we're being honest with Trey, like the teams in the league, I don't think they have the appetite to pay that much money for a small guard. And so I think the Hawks actually have a little more leverage than I think a lot of people will admit, because let's say the Hawks and Trey don't reach an agreement and they carry this out through the year. And even if Trey has a good year, like who's the team that needs a point guard that's going to pay Trey $50 million when he's small and he's a defensive liability? Like, I don't know if there's a team out there, and the teams with cap space are rebuilding teams. They're not contending teams, and so I think the market for Trey, even if they don't like reach an agreement, I think it's pretty small. I really do. And I think that's where the Hawks could have some leverage in these negotiations.
Yeah, I think the same. I don't think honestly, the past 2 years, I don't think his market's been that great. I mean, when DeJounte was on the team and you're picking between him and Trey, I mean, I'm going Trey DeJounte because of course I think Trey's the better player, but DeJounte is also on a better contract for like the next 3, however much the Hawks extended him. So of course I'm trading DeJounte, but it was like you still heard the rumors of like, oh, they're still trying to trade Trey and stuff like that, and it didn't happen. And now we're still kind of went through that, I guess, a little bit this season, but it kind of died down. But it's like looking at it now, I don't see a market for him.
Yeah, and I don't think the Hawks want to trade Trey.
Yeah,
necessarily. Like I never bought into that, but I do think if a team offered the Hawks like the Rudy Gobert package, the 4 first-round picks and 2 swaps and a young player or 2, like I think the Hawks would probably consider it. But that offer's not out there. But that I don't think that offer is out there, and I don't think it's ever going to be out there.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
SSB, he asked, so with OKC's big contracts of SGA and Chet, what is their future? I think their future is they got to get rid of Jalen Williams. Like J-Dub won't be there in long term unless they deal Chet. But I kind of knew just looking at their championship celebration how young all those guys were. I was like, there's no way they can keep all these guys, and they know it. I think those players themselves know it, and they're just kind of like, all right, well, let's enjoy it while we're young because they ain't going to be able to afford all of us in a couple of years. So I think that's the future of OKC is a lot of those guys are going to end up having to let go and things of that sort.
Yeah. I think they'll keep Jalen Williams. I think the guys that they'll let go are like Isaiah Hartenstein, Lou Dort,
Caruso,
maybe Alex Caruso, even though if I'm okay, so I probably want to keep him for a little bit. But I think those are the guys they might look to let go. And then because they drafted Thomas Sorber in this past draft. And so that right there kind of tells you that like Isaiah Hartenstein is probably not going to be there for much longer. Like he might be there next year, and then after that, they might trade him. And like Lou Dort, like again, like he's probably a guy that OKC's probably gonna look to move in a year or two. And so I think that you're gonna be looking at guys like those guys, Lou Dort, Isaiah Hartenstein, maybe Alex Caruso. And then when those guys get moved, that's where you have all these picks that that they have, and they've tried to develop guys, and you'll see maybe a Cason Wallace have a bigger role. And so I think that's where I am with OKC. Like I think they're gonna keep their quote unquote big 3, and I think their role players are gonna be the guys that they move on from, and they'll get picks and they'll try to draft and develop.
It's just something I'm looking at like with Boston, like right.
Yeah,
Derek White was kind of like an all-star level player. Jaylen Brown, obviously superstar. Tatum, superstar. Drew Holiday, all-star level player, and Porzingis, all-star level player. They had to get rid of 2 of that 3, and people were speculating that they were going to get rid of the 3rd just because of all the money they gave him and stuff like that. Yeah. So it's like that's what I'm looking at. OKC, like one of those bigger names, they might have to eventually just move up from because I don't know if they can afford them all.
Yeah, and the thing with the Boston is the Tatum thing just blew up. I believe if Tatum doesn't get hurt, I think at least one of Porzingis and Drew Holiday, probably Drew Holiday. I would wager that at least one of them will be still on that team.
So you think they would have taken the like the loser pick punishment or whatever?
I think they would have moved. I think they would have moved one of Porzingis and Holiday, but not both. If Tatum doesn't get injured. And they probably would have moved Porzingis instead of Holiday. I think they probably would have kept Holiday.
Yeah, no, I got you.
So, but the thing is, like and this is kind of where the CBA is messed up. Like with Boston, like Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum are on supermaxes, and like it's just hard when 2 guys are making supermax deals, and it's just hard to build together a sustainable team. It's just hard. And so I think that's kind of where Boston is at. They're going to have to retool. I trust Brad Stevens to do that. And so they're just going to have to retool. They let go all their front court pieces. Luke Cornett went to the Spurs. Porzingis went here in Atlanta. Al Horford's probably going to Golden State if you believe the reports. And so they're going to have to fortify that front court.
SSB also said if Tatum doesn't get hurt, Boston probably goes to the finals, in my opinion. They weren't. They were going to lose that series regardless. Like, they had them boys beat. I ain't going to lie. Like, it was that Halliburton magic, bro. It was just going. Them boys was on their way out. It was on their way to Cancun regardless. But Tatum get better for sure. He said, I think Boston initially thought maybe 3 years for that squad, but they blew it up after the injury. Yeah. I can see that.
And it's crazy because I think they're still trying to trade Anthony. Like they haven't even.
Yeah. They're trying to trade Anthony. Yeah.
Crazy. Like
yeah.
I don't know what they're trying to do, or like I don't know, but it's crazy how just like that one injury kind of just like shifted everything.
Reggie, you know what's interesting? Now that we have you here, I was because Malik was talking about, they're trying to move on from Anthony.
Yeah.
Club 520 of all podcasts was talking, I think today, about Peyton Pritchard, and like Peyton Pritchard, like he gonna ball out because like look at his numbers when everybody's out, and just imagine he's getting 20 in limited minutes. Just imagine what he'll do with 40 minutes a night and things of that sort. And that made me think Reggie is one of the reasons why Club 520 blew up. Reggie, you ain't getting no money from that. You ain't getting nothing. You need to tell Teague and them, DJ Wells, B-Hen, especially B-Hen eating the most off of the whole thing. They need to cut you at least some. Shannon Sharp need to cut you some, because you the reason why the podcast blew up.
Did you repost the clip
from the first episode
with Josh?
And it went viral. It was the first time the T podcast went viral was from Reggie.
Dang, I do remember because you had pinned it. I think.
Yeah, I did, because I posted. I think they talked about, was it T-Mac? Tracy McGrady.
Yeah,
when T.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was Tracy McGrady, and how I think he called Teague a scrub or something. He thought he was sorry, and I think they were.
T was starting over T-Mac.
Yeah,
and he said, "Oh, y'all got this sorry dude starting over me? Oh, heck no!" T was like, hey,
and then I, because it was on Instagram, and then I downloaded it and I posted it, and then it blew up like crazy.
No, like I said, you is literally the reason why that entire podcast blew up.
Even the one you got, you still got the one where you talking about Dyson. You still got that one, Payne, Reggie?
I do.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on.
Reggie knew about Dyson before we knew about Dyson.
Hold on. Let me pull it up. But yeah. That just made me think about it, because we was talking about the Boston, scoring situation and everything like that. Dyson Daniels is a really good player, 6'8", who defends and passes. This is February 2024. He doesn't play because the Pelicans have too many guys. Getting him for two first would be acceptable return for DJ. Dang, he did this before the trade. Gosh, Lee, I ain't gonna lie. Look at this. With the crystal ball. Come on, man. Reggie, I ain't gonna lie, Reggie. You need some check from somebody, bro. Landry Fields and Jeff Teague and Shannon Sharp owe you a check. You got 3 checks. Hey, send it to Landry Fields. He ain't got nothing to do. Shout out Landry Fields, brother. It was a joke.
That was a hell of a trade.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You know it's crazy, because I think when I tweeted that, I was watching. The Pelicans were playing the Clippers, and I was watching Dyson Daniels locking up Norman Powell and Russell Westbrook on several possessions. And then I think that's what got me to tweet that.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, hey man, I wanted Dyson Daniels back during his draft in 2022. Mm-hmm. Like that was the guy I wanted, because
Weren't the Hawks trying to trade up for him? I remember.
Yeah, they were.
About that.
I think they were. It couldn't. I think they were trying to trade John Collins and a pick and whatever, but Yeah, like I've been a Dyson Daniels fan, even dating back to when he was in that draft. Like I wanted him then, and it never happened. It couldn't happen like that. But like I knew the potential that he had. Like the few Pelican games that I watched, like he always stood out, even if he didn't play as much as he should have, because he was behind Herb Jones and Brandon Ingram, and so, hey man, it worked out. So I'm happy.
I forgot. Rashad, could you pull up the They just announced the not the playing the NBA Cup thing today. The group play.
I got you.
All right, so Hawks are in East Group A. They got the Cavs and the Wizards again. Do y'all like their chances of going back to Vegas for a second year in a row?
Yes, I do. Yes.
Only team I'm worried about in that group is the Cavs. Honestly.
We beat them last year.
They beat them twice. Yeah, they beat them twice last year. So if they can do that again, I do like their chances. Of course, Pacers don't have Tyrese. Toronto's a weird team. It's like they got like 5 different.
I'm not a buyer on the Raptors. I'm not a buyer on them.
And then the Wizards are just the Wizards. So I do like their chances coming out of Group A for sure.
Yeah.
I didn't even look at the other groups. Boston, Detroit. Yeah, nah. I like their chances. Like I said, I think it's
Group B is interesting.
Group B, Boston.
Group B is interesting.
Houston, that's a good group. That's a very competitive group.
That's interesting. That group
That might be the most competitive one, honestly. Cause C, you got Knicks. That's a bad one. That's a bad one. Knicks, Bucks, Bulls, Heat, and Hornets. Yikes. Yeah, nah. That's wow.
Shoot, it looks like Cleveland the only tough team to have.
That's what I said.
But the Cleveland killer is now on Cleveland. DeAndre Hunter.
Oh, Hunter.
he was the Cleveland killer. He gone now.
This is why they got him.
Yeah. Right. He kept killing them. East Group C looks terrible.
Yeah,
bro.
C is bad.
That's ugly hoops. B, this top 3 is respectable, bro.
B is good.
Yeah. And Philly might come back.
Yeah, B is good.
All right, West. Oh, Pelicans definitely not coming out the West.
Yikes. Dang, they gave them the worst one.
Yeah.
Lakers, Clippers, Grizzlies, Dallas.
Yikes.
Group A's got 2 teams that are beatable. Group C has.
Oh, C gonna be cold.
Yeah. You said B was the worst one. C might be the worst. Yeah, this goes back to like what Reggie was saying and what everybody else has said. The West is just crazy, bro.
Yeah, this is why I'm skeptical of the Pelicans. Like, look at the conference.
Look at 2, 3. There's 3 bad teams, bro. There's 3 bad teams in the West.
3 bad teams in the Western Conference.
West C is the toughest, is what SSB said.
Yeah, West C is the toughest.
The Rockets,
Warriors.
Gosh, Lee. West has too much depth, is what SSB said. Yeah, crazy. But yeah, the East is like it's only 2 good teams each group. Except for Group B. Group B has 3-4 good teams. Everybody else only has 2 good teams.
Yeah.
Man, the West is crazy, bro. But yeah. To answer the question about getting back to Vegas, I think it's definitely a possibility. The Hawks have to value it though. Like, I believe once they beat Cleveland a couple times and then beat the who was the other good team they had in the Pacers?
Knicks, New York.
Oh, No, but like, what was the team? Didn't they like sweep a team or whatever? They swept
the
Cleveland.
Hawks. They beat the Cavs. They beat the Celtics.
It
Oh,
was the
Celtics.
Celtics.
It was the Celtics.
Yeah, because they won that game when Trey was
Yeah.
suspended, right? He was
Yeah.
no, DeJounte was suspended against the Celtics. Trey was hurt against the Celtics.
Yeah.
Y'all remember that game when DeJounte was suspended and the Hawks had the no. Was it?
The Hawks won that game. He was suspended too.
Yeah. They won the game and they was like, we did this for DJ. yeah. But this year, Trey was out just because he was hurt.
Yeah,
and
that was Dyson's coming out party.
Yeah. And Dyson had like the game winner. It was like a floater.
No, I think Onyeka had the game winner.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, but Dyson had like 28.
Yeah.
And then Jalen had 31, right?
I don't know if he had that many, but he had a good game.
And Onyeka had like 27 himself. He's just gonna have some stinkers next year. Please, Adam Silver, don't keep changing the format. Let me see this Celtics game, because now I'm interested, and I know that was a game because the court was green.
Yeah.
Stage. Let me see. Jalen only had 18. What the heck? Oh, he had a triple double.
Yeah.
I know he had a good game.
Dyson had 28. Onyeka only had 15. What am I thinking? Oh, Larry Nance hit all them threes.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah.
I was like, bro, what the heck going on?
Clint Capella had 18.
Clint had 18 points, 18 and 9.
You better do it, Clint.
Well, hold on. He had 18 in 17 minutes.
Oh, wow.
What?
He was eating. I remember Keaton hit a big couple shots. David Roddy even got a bucket.
Wow.
That's a random man. How did we win that game?
Bruh.
Yeah.
That was literally like the first time where I was like, the Celtics not about it, bro. They're not like that. Eric White had 31. JB had 37. Gosh, Lee, he almost had 40. Tatum was off that game. I remember that. Ain't nobody else did nothing. They had 3 people come off the bench with 0 points.
Wow. That is crazy. We won that game.
That was a crazy game, man. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I don't know why I thought Jalen Johnson had like 31.
What do y'all think was the craziest game last year?
This one.
No.
That Bulls game was crazy.
Yeah.
When Plowden went off. Like when
the comeback when they scored like what 40 in a quarter and they were down by like 20 with like
the one at home.
Yeah.
That was the day after Christmas.
Like Lakers game was like that too at home, right?
What was the game?
Where they had the blue jerseys on.
Yeah, no, they had the blue jerseys.
It was down by like another game where they was down in the fourth quarter and they came back late and Trey hit a big shot to send it to overtime and they won in overtime or something like that.
I can't. I'm trying to remember which.
Are you talking about the Laker game?
Was it Lakers? It had to be Lakers. Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
That's what I was talking about, the Laker game.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, that was that Lakers game was crazy too.
Yeah, won in overtime.
The Hawks had when the Hawks were healthy, they had some really nice wins.
Yeah.
You got to say the Knicks game.
Knicks game.
That was the most fun. That to me was the most fun win. That was definitely the most that was the most fun win to me was that.
That was their finals, bro. It was all downhill from there.
The trade dice roll game.
That was a good game too. Yeah.
And Trey didn't even have his best game. It was like Jalen Johnson and everybody else.
Yeah.
And like Trey, he was like, I'm still gonna talk my talk.
That was a good game. They had some good games. It's crazy. Like when they were all healthy, they would get good wins, but they barely would like have bad losses. Like I kind of hard to remember them having like really bad losses when they were all healthy. Like they were pretty much in almost every. I would want to say every game. I'm sure it was like 2 or 3 that they got blown out, or something like that. But for the most part, they were pretty competitive when they were healthy.
Malik, do you see
They,
this, bro?
they had those 2 Wizard losses earlier.
Oh yeah, that was terrible.
But I think like Hunter didn't play in either of them games.
Yeah.
And that was at the time when the Hawks needed him. I think Dyson missed one of those games too.
Yeah.
And so it was the Hawks they had I think the first couple of games they won and they were healthy, and then Hunter missed like 10 games or something.
Yeah.
And then Dyson missed a couple.
Yeah.
And so
Veet
was out.
Yeah.
And so at that time, like the Hawks were kind of injured, and then they were up and down, and then everyone got healthy, and they didn't want us run.
Yeah.
But did y'all see this stat line?
Was it the Lakers game? Oh, this is a Lakers game. Trey had 31 and 20. Bro, what?
Bro, did he get voted to the All-Star originally, or did he get in as an injury replacement? Was this the year he got in as an injury replacement?
It was.
Yes.
Bro, he was having games like this, and he didn't make the All-Star team?
All because Jalen got hurt, and we went on an 8-game losing streak.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
He had 31. He had another 2020 game, didn't he?
Yeah.
I think he had like 5.
A few of them, yeah.
4 or 5.
Bro, and he
Yeah,
didn't.
I know he had one in the Cleveland game, one of those Cleveland games.
And he was an injury replacement for All-Star.
Bro,
They put Tyler Hero in there before him, bro.
Terrible.
The way Trey gets like blacklisted is crazy, dog.
Terrible.
Hold on, I'm looking up these 2020 games. In terms of a lot of people doing their summer league previews and stuff like that. Yeah. I was like, summer league this year for me for the Hawks doesn't mean much of anything, because Kobe Buffkin can average 40 and 20 and I still wouldn't care. Like I'm over it, bro. It's July. Like if Kobe Buffkin in his 5th season in the NBA does extremely well in the summer league and then gets hurt after the first 2 games of the regular season, I do not care. He's literally like, you have to prove it to me in the regular season for 2-3 months in a row. It was like that with almost DeAndre Hunter at the beginning of his career. It was like, dang, he looks good when he's playing, but he barely plays. You kind of waiting for him to be healthy, and he kind of showed he was healthy for 2-3 months at a time. Then he get hurt again, and then they finally just end up trading him because he was getting his value up too high. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. That's the way I feel about Kobe Buffkin. Obviously we'll be watching because we like the game of basketball, but there's not too much to take away from this year. We'll be watching Nico a little bit just because I thought he had a good summer league last year. I thought he played better than Zachary actually. So it'll be nice to see how that goes. If Nico coming back from injury last season, if he can put together something in the summer league and show that he deserves to be on the roster, not as a 2-way, but as a full-time player with that last roster spot. And, show him like, hey, you don't need Russell Westbrook. You can just bring me on the team. So we'll see what happens there.
As far as summer league, Asa Newell is the guy I'm fascinated to see how he looks. Like I think it's I've come around on Asa Newell a bit. Like I think he's a little easy. Yeah, he's a little like John Collins, like that prototype. He's a 6'9" tweener big. He's athletic. I think he'll be able to shoot eventually. Like he has a from what I've seen, he has a little bit of a face-up game that's kind of intriguing to me. So I'm interested to see how he looks. He's the guy we drafted, so like I'm keeping my eye on him. As far as Kobe Buffkin, like you said, we just gotta hope he's healthy. Like I don't really care too much about how he looks in summer league. To me, I just want to see him healthy when it's October, November. Like you just hope that he's healthy. And so for him, like I understood why the Hawks didn't want to move him during the summer. Like I think you can make an argument for why the Hawks maybe should move him, but you can make an argument for why the Hawks should keep him. And so I think he's going to have another opportunity to man the backup point guard spot. And, I think he's going to have another opportunity to see, like, can this dude play? Like, from what I've seen, I think he has talent. I think he has some talent that I'm intrigued with, and so we'll see if he can put it together, and we'll see if he can put together a full healthy year.
I was talking to Lauren at one of the Dream games last week, and we were talking about Kobe, and she brought to my attention that Kobe has only played 27 games in the past 3 years.
27.
I couldn't believe it, but it's true. It's 27 games. He's only played 27 games. He's for what? This is third year, fourth year coming up, right?
Third year. Is it? I think
he's only played 27 games. He's only played 27, and he played 10 last year. So
yeah, it's a big year for him.
Yeah, very big year. And the fact that they keep saying no to trades because they don't want to include him, it says a lot about how they see him. So I want to see that as well.
Yeah, I will say this. I think the rumored trade was like the Kings offered us Malik Monk.
Yeah,
I will say that just for a little bit of a caveat. Yeah. If the Hawks were to do that trade, they don't get Porzingis.
True.
So like, you rather have Malik Monk or Porzingis?
Yeah.
Like I'll take Porzingis.
What about Pascal Siakam?
Well, now on that, like I don't buy that. I don't buy that. I don't buy that the Hawks not trading Buffkin was the difference in them getting Siakam. Like I just don't buy that. I could buy that maybe the Hawks didn't include him in a deal. And I don't know if Toronto even wanted Buffkin or not, considering that Toronto didn't have much leverage. But I don't buy that like Buffkin was the difference in them not getting Siakam. To me, with Siakam, it's just the facts that like he didn't want to extend with the Hawks. The Hawks were afraid that if they traded for Siakam, that they would have maybe lose him. And the Hawks didn't want to take a chance on a rental. And so, like, and on top of that, like, if we want to go to a hindsight game, like, are we sure Siakam with DeJounte and Trey would have worked?
That's
true. I would have liked to see it.
I would have took it. Yeah, I would have took it. I honestly don't know how that would have looked.
Because DeJounte and Trey didn't work. DeJounte would work.
But they didn't have Siakam.
And if you have Siakam, it's like, okay, what happens with Jalen? You feel me? Like, does he take this jump? Like, it's a lot of what ifs. I would say I'm satisfied with what they're doing now. I would say that.
Yeah,
like, it is a lot of what ifs, but
let me see something.
It's cool.
Let me see something real quick. Okay, here we go. So we just talked about Buffkin. 27 games. Okay. Jalen Johnson played 36 games last season. He played 56 the year before. Played 70 the year of the whole Siakam thing. But that's what we have.
How many minutes was he playing? 14.
This is Nate McMillan.
Oh yeah, Nate did him dirty, man.
So
I'm not worried about Jalen. Even with Buffkin, like I'm not too worried about the injuries with either of these guys yet. Like, to me, sometimes you just have bad luck. You know, like I think Jalen had he had the ankle problems, I think, in 23-24. And then he broke his wrist because Kyle Kuzma just, whatever reason, just pushed him.
Mm-hmm.
And this year, like he had the injured shoulder. Like, to me, Jalen's injuries are just bad luck. Feel more bad luck based to me. And I think with Buffkin, kind of the same thing. Like, I think, he had a shoulder issue last year. I forgot what he had the year before that. What injuries did he have the year before?
Or something. It was something with his hand or something.
Yeah. They feel bad luck to me. Like, if either player had like consistent knee and foot issues, I will feel differently. Like Zion, whenever he is injured, is always hamstrings, his knees, his feet. Like, those are more concerning to me than just a random shoulder injury or a hand injury. You know,
No, I hear you. I hear you. My point was, you say if you get Siakam, how does Jalen develop? I think you see the same amount of Jalen Johnson games that he plays that you saw without Siakam. He didn't play that. He didn't play that many games, so it's like
I think. I mean, I definitely think he plays. I don't know how much more games he play if Siakam is on the team. Because I mean, if you look at the minutes per game, he's averaging 33,
35. Yeah, he's averaging 35 now.
I think if Siakam's on the team, he gets at least what 27, 25, 20. I don't know.
Right.
So I think it goes up, but I mean, yeah. I mean, like Reggie said, it kind of seems the shoulder thing was. It looks like looking at it live, it didn't look like anything happened. Honestly, it looked like he just put his hand up, and then like he was in super pain. Like that was a freak accident a freak injury in my opinion. The thing with Kobe, it's his shoulder that keeps coming up with him like the past 2-3 times. That's the only thing I worry about with Kobe. But Jalen, I could say he's kind of like in that freak injury thing, but Kobe is the shoulder that's bothering me.
Yeah, with Jalen, like Jalen's injuries to me remind me of Al Horford with the pec. From, was it 12 years ago? Like Cal Horford injured his pec like twice. I think he did it in 2012. I think he did. He might have did it in. He did it in 2000. He did it 1 year, and then the following year he played a full year. Then he did it. Then he injured his pec the year after. So he injured it twice in 3 years, and ever since then he never had an issue with the injuries ever again. And so that's kind of what I'm looking at with Jalen. Like, I'm not worried about Jalen quite yet when it comes to just long-term injuries. Now, if he has a serious injury this year, then I'll be a little more concerned. But I think right now I'm treating Jalen's injury issues as just freak injuries and just bad luck.
Who is that light skin doing that?
I was thinking the exact same thing. I said, bro, I know this man, but I forgot his name.
It's not John Jenkins.
No,
it's not him. He looks familiar.
That's a power forward.
No, I know who he is. I know who he is.
Is that Austin Day?
Dang,
that might be.
Is that Austin? Oh, bro, if that's Austin Day, I ain't gonna lie. Hold on, I'm gonna be turned. It's Austin Day. Austin Day, come on down. You are the winner at the prizes. Yo, Austin Day. I was about to say, is that the dude from the Pistons? Is that Darvin Handball?
I was gonna say Gustavo Ion. That's what I was gonna say.
Oh no. That you pulled that name. I remember that name, bro. That was a backup. SSB said, I heard Mark Carroll's a coach. This pick reminded me of him. Yeah, man. Shout out to the Junkyard Dog. Congratulations on being assistant. I forgot what team he went to.
I think the Suns.
Okay, yeah. And he's been an assistant on another team the past couple of years.
He's on the Cavs. I forgot, but I think he's coaching one of the summer league teams.
I think he's coaching the Bucks. I mean, no, he's coaching the Suns.
Okay, yeah. And then SSB, he asked us, can you build a team that competes with Trae Young, or is he the second best player on the championship team?
I think this season they have the perfect makeup. They have, all the defensive personnel. You got perimeter defense with Dyson and Null or Nickeil Alexander-Walker. You got Shai, who's a 6'9", 6'10" wing with long arms who can defend. You got Jalen, who's a good defender. Porzingis can stretch the floor, and so you got Onyeka. So like you had this season on paper, you have the defensive infrastructure to hide Trae on defense, and you have shooting. And so it to me, like if one of Jalen or Dyson or Reese, if one of these guys can make a real leap on offense, you know, you have a squad, and we'll be able to find out, you know, whether Trey is a number 1 or a number 2 option, or maybe he's. I don't feel this way about Trey, but you know, some people might think like you can't win with Trey at all, you know, and so I think over these next 2 years or so, 2 or 3 years or so, we're gonna find out a lot as far as like where Trey is in the pecking order. As far as like contending, if you can build a championship level team around him.
Yeah. What the Hawks are doing, it really looks like the Pacers model of how they got to where like everybody was questioning like, oh, is Tyrese the number 1 option? Oh, is it Pascal Siakam? And it's like those boys were just playing great team basketball. And I think that's kind of what the Hawks were doing last year when everybody was healthy. Like,
yeah,
I mean, Trey was just dishing out and everybody was eating.
Yeah.
And sometimes Trey looked like the best player on the floor. Sometimes it was Jalen that looked like the best player on the floor. Sometimes Dre came in and did his thing. Like, it was just a collective group effort. And that's how the Pacers got to the finals. And I think it's a good model to build from.
And the Hawks actually have a better version of the team now than they had 8 months ago.
Yeah.
You know, with Porzingis and Nickeil Alexander-Walker. And if the key for me for the Hawks is like, can one of Jalen, Reese, can one of these guys become like reliable half court scorers?
Mm-hmm.
Like a guy that you can just give the ball to and say, give me a bucket. Mm-hmm. Like, can one of these guys develop into that?
Yeah.
And if it doesn't have to be all 3 of these guys, just one of them.
That's true.
You know, if one of these guys pops on offense, along with some of the veteran additions that we made, I mean, look out, man. Yeah. This Hawk team could be special.
Like you said, it's all up to Ricochet and Jalen. We've seen Jalen make the leaps. We've seen Ricochet get better from the beginning of his rookie season to the end of his rookie season.
Yeah.
But it's going to take a serious jump. Dyson, I know he's still young, but it seems like he's been trying to make this offensive leap like his entire career, and it's still kind of like a bit limited. Of course, he's had nights where he got hot offensively, but overall, it still seems like he's just kind of has a ceiling on his offensive game.
I think his driving game is impressive. Like I like his stop and start ability. He has a nice little spin move. He has a nice floater. Like I read like he was like top 5 in the league in made floaters.
And that's surprising.
Yeah, he has a nice little floater. I think the next step for him is like, can he get to the free throw line? You know, he's not a good free throw shooter. Like I think he shot like 59%. And so his free throw shooting is gonna have to get better. And so can he get to the free throw line more? You know, I think I believe in him enough as a shooter that I think he can be average, but that's still an area that he's gonna have to improve in as well. And so I like Dyson. Like I like him. Like I like what he can be on offense. Like I think there's something there. But like if one of these guys can just make a leap on offense as a scorer and just being a little more efficient, then and look, obviously Porzingis, you know, if he can just be healthy. You know, just and I don't expect him to play 70 games, but can he give me 60? You know, and so
that's literally what everybody's saying.
Yeah, everybody saying 60.
Everybody say, if you can get 60 games from Porzingis,
yeah. But man, I like what we've done, man. Like I really like what this team has done this offseason. Like the pieces fit on offense and defense.
Yeah, no, Ansi did his thing for sure.
And you got that Pelicans. Look, I know Rashad thinks the Pelicans are but I'm just saying, like, we got that Pelicans pick.
All right, well, I don't know if it's but just I guess looking at the landscape of the East, where do y'all think the Hawks stack? Like, where they stack up as far as the Eastern Conference? As far as standings,
I think based off of what we know now, I think most people are going to have them around like fourth. Like they'll have Orlando, New York, and Cleveland. I think based off today, I think that's probably fair. Like, I think it's fair that they probably should be around fourth. But I think if, like I said, like if Jalen, Reese, or say Dyson, if one of these three guys, one of these three young wings make a leap on offense, I mean, this team could win the conference. This team could win the Eastern Conference if they get an offensive jump from one of their young wings. You know, like I think that could happen, but I think based off right now, like you probably would put, you know, New York, Cleveland, and Orlando ahead of them just because those guys have their top players are proven. And so I understand having those three ahead of them, but I think the Hawks should be number 4 at worst.
At worst is interesting.
I think they should.
Because I was with you, and then you said at worst, and I was like, at worst, because it's like, what if Milwaukee's ahead of them? What if, you know, Philly comes back with Embiid and PG healthy, and Maxi's doing his thing, and they go back up to fourth? Like, I think I see them in the 4 or 5 range. Yeah, that's where I currently see them, but it's very possible that it could be Cleveland, you know, just like how last year it was only like a couple games separating, like, what was it? Where did it start? 3? Yeah, 3 through, well, here it wasn't, but you know how, remember how most of the season it was only like 5 games separating all of these guys. So yeah. I think it's going to be the same thing next season. And so, like, if someone said Cleveland, New York, Orlando, Milwaukee, Detroit, Philly, Atlanta at 6, I wouldn't be like, oh, you're crazy. Atlanta's gonna be way higher than, like, I wouldn't be mad at that, you know, prediction and stuff like that. But I see them in the 4 to 6, 7 range, and I definitely think that they can win the East, just because the Pacers won the East, and I think the Hawks can make a run like that. If Porzingis is playing in April and May, and he's playing like Porzingis from the championship run, and that Porzingis from the playoffs, this past playoffs, coming back from whatever viral infection he had. Yeah. I don't know why they didn't have a press conference with him to ask him, hey, did you ever find out what the viral infection was? And are you healed from it? Have you found out what it was so you can take the supplements you need to treat it? How do you feel? And I don't want him to say I felt 100%, you know, and he's just lying, you know. I don't know. Like, Kristaps Porzingis is literally a mystery box here. You don't know what you're going to get. The good news is it's an expiring contract, as everybody has already said. But yeah, I see the Hawks, to answer your question, Malik, between 4 and 7.
Yeah, I think they're top 6 for sure. I'm not gonna lie. Another play-in would probably be another disappointment. I ain't gonna lie.
It will be.
I ain't gonna lie. 7, 8, 9, 10, like that's you did something went wrong.
Unless this team should not be unless Trey and Jalen miss like half of the season or something. The Hawks should not be playing. This team's like moderately healthy. Even if Porzingis misses like 40 games, and no one else is injured, I still think the Hawks should be a top 6 seed.
Yes.
Like they have a well balanced roster.
Yeah.
They have enough defense. They have enough shooting. You know, they have enough talent. They have enough depth. Like this team should be a top 6 seed at minimum. And if they're healthy, they should be top 4.
I see the vision.
Man, this graphic doesn't even have Asa Newell. You know what I'm saying? So, man.
I like Mo Gay. I got
I like Mo.
shout out Mo Gay.
Yeah, shout out Mo Gay. This graphic doesn't have V, doesn't have Keaton Wallace, and it doesn't have Asa Newell.
I be forgetting about E. Dang.
Yeah.
Asa Newell might get minutes. I want to see how Asa Newell looks in summer league. I want to see how he looks. It wouldn't surprise me if he got some minutes.
I know Malik wanted to close. I wanted to ask though about Malik and Reg, about Nico. What do y'all want to see from Nico in the summer league? Like I said, he's the person I'm most interested in summer league.
Yeah, I think someone pointed out to me that like he kind of struggled in like the G League a little bit. Like his shooting percentages were really bad. Is that true? Like I think someone pointed that out to me.
I remember him struggling earlier on, and I think as like time went on, of course he progressed. But I wouldn't have been surprised. It may have been Kevin. I think Kevin was keeping up a lot with him during the G League.
Yeah, for him, like just playing with confidence. You know,
his field goal percentage was 39%. Oh man, brother, it might be right. Yeah,
they ain't good. They ain't great.
18%
on 3 to 4 attempts.
What was you shooting with? Footballs? All right, I ain't gonna lie. It might be done for my boy. I was a big Nico guy. Hey man, look, Asa Newell. We watching Asa Newell and Kobe Buffkin ball like D'Angelo Russell used to ball.
Hey, we watching. Hey, Kobe too. Kobe Johnson.
Oh, Kobe. Oh yeah. And Kobe Johnson, the whole Bronny thing. You know what I'm saying? They got the Bronny thing going on with Kobe Johnson, the whole Thanasis thing. You know, so. We'll see what Kobe Johnson can do. He said he the best defender in the world. All right, we'll see, bro. We'll see how that works out. But yeah, is there anything else that you guys looking forward to in summer league before we get out of here?
Non-Hawks related.
Oh yeah. I guess you could say that. Yeah.
I gotta watch my man Derek Queen. That's my man. Look, man, I'm skeptical of the Pelicans, but hey, I'm a Derek Queen fan. I think that dude has game, and I want to see him put on a show so he can prove me right that I think that dude is going to be a star in the league. So
New Orleans is going to be fun in the summer league, boy, with Fears and Queen running the show.
Yeah, I want to see Derek Queen in summer league. So
Fears is going to be high stepping and all of that, man, because he running the show, man.
I got to see Derek Queen put on his Jokic imitation and just scoring in the post, great footwork, great passing, ball handling, all of that. I want to see Derek Queen put on a show for the Pelicans in summer league.
Reggie,
regular season, and they need to go 0-82. But summer league, let's go.
Reggie, I want to ask you this question about the Pelicans, man. With who was it? Corey Brewer. With Corey Brewer coaching the summer league.
Yeah.
I know me personally, be around, same ballpark. Like to see someone you remember from college coaching in the NBA, it just makes me feel ancient. How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel a little old. Because I remember watching this dude at Florida, with Al Horford and Joakim Noah winning championships and going on deep college runs. And he had a little bit of a decent stint in Minnesota. in Houston. Actually, well, really more so in Houston and Minnesota. But you know, I'm happy that he found a niche. You know, coaching, and you know, we'll see how well he does. You know, but I'm happy for him.
Al Horford's considered old now. Kevin Durant's considered old now. I'm just like, wow.
Yeah,
That must mean I'm old. Malik, is there anything else before we get out of here, man?
I'm looking forward to Bronny locking up Cooper Flag. That's all I got.
Oh yeah,
I'm looking forward to Bronny locking him up. That's it.
Bronny clamps. Who am I looking forward to, like, other than like the Pelicans and the Hawks? Is there anybody that I really cared about? Really, yeah, Bronny. I just want to see Bronny play, bro. Zero said, LOL, Bronny ain't doing nothing. Zero, you ain't had to hate on Bronny like that, bro. Yeah, Zero, he from New York. That's Ron Artest's cousin, Meta World Peace cousin.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. But yeah. All right. We'll get out of here, man. Hold on. Let me pull up the joint. Give me a second. Hold on. All right, there we go. I got it. Okay. We are getting out of. Yeah, he said LOL. All right, give me a second. All right, you can follow Reg right here. Reg, where can the people find you on your YouTube and everything like that as well?
My YouTube channel is Reggie's World Sports. ReggieWorldSports. Yeah, that's the website. Y'all can follow me on there. I'm gonna keep posting content on there regularly. You can follow me on Twitter, Reggie's World. You can follow me on Instagram, you know, Reggie's World _30. So all of the links are in the description. So yeah.
Malik, where can the people find you?
Same old, man. _Malik ATL. It might change one day, but it's not changing anytime soon.
Hold on. I'm trying to pull up. I'm trying to pull it up before you leave. All right, cool. This is Malik. You guys have seen Reggie as well. Y'all make sure y'all follow them boys and stuff like that. Zero, SSB, Big Nate. Love to y'all boys for participating in the chat as always. I'll be back live shortly after this. So yeah, I'll be back soon. But yeah, Birds in the Buckets, another episode, man. Zero said, I still got the same phone number for the last 20 years. He said, ain't nothing changed. Ain't nothing changed with it, brother. I feel it, Zero. But yeah, man. I'll be live again in a few minutes. But this was Birds and Buckets, season 2 episode. What episode is this, Malik? Like 4?
4 or 5?
Hold on, let me see. Because now I'm interested. Now I want to know like how many episodes we've done. 5?
This is
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this is episode 6.
6.
Episode 6. Season 2, man. Episode 6, season 2. We appreciate the time, Reggie. And Malik. Same time next week, man. All right, young boys. We'll see you until next time. Birds in the Buckets. We out.
Peace.
And if they come out clean.